And finally, I grab it, and it fully wiggles out of my hand, right? And so then, I don't know why I did this. I grabbed it again, and it just felt so uncomfortable that it was still wiggling so hard that I threw the fish and the fishing rod. Now, I did throw it on land. I don't want you to think I just threw it back in the water and lost two things. No. I did throw it on the ground far away from me just so I had time to gather myself. And I still saw this fish like bouncing off it's like full of life. And he's like, you have to grab it, you know? This is part of fishing. And I was like, no one talked about this part of fishing at all. They said it was peaceful. And I didn't know how to stop a fish that was, you know, still so alive. And so he kept telling me to grab it, but I was like, I've grabbed it. That doesn't deter it at all. It still very much wants to keep moving, and I don't know what to do. And so I run up, and he's like, grab it. And in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to grab it. He was going to take the hook out. He was going to put it in the cooler, right? And it would just be ready to take home. I didn't know any of that because we hadn't discussed any of it, because maybe he also didn't think I'd catch a fish today. And so in my mind, I'm on my own. I know I have a mentor there. I know I have somebody who fishes, who knows what they're doing, that I don't even believe for some reason. But I just ran up, and I don't even know where it came from, but I ran up, I grabbed it, and I punched the fish as hard as I could. Because I thought I needed to knock it out. Like, I thought... Because it's flopping and everything, and I've grabbed it already. I've grabbed it several times. But grab it, it said stop it. So I run up, I grab the fish. And it stopped moving. And I threw up immediately. I threw up, and I was sitting there. And I was like, I killed him. I was hanging out with a friend in Louisiana, right? And as we were hanging out in Louisiana, I went over to his place, and we just did some throwback stuff, like played Nintendo Wii. I was like whooping them. Yeah, it was amazing, right? And then we went to go get food, and we went to go get food like midnight, because we had been playing for like 4 hours and just having a great time catching up. I hadn't seen him in so long, right? And so then we pick up the food. We're driving what I think is back to his place, and then he tells me, he's like, "Hey, I actually have a date tonight." And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to, I just thought we could hang out. And he was like, no, it's okay. It's actually why I wanted to hang out, because I want you to come with me, because she wants to meet at the park. And I was like, your date? Where'd you meet? He's like, I met her online. I was like, oh, okay, your date from online wants to meet at the park at night. That's a robbery. That's not a date. That's not a date. That's not... The fact that you even had the idea to bring me means you know deep down this is a horrible idea. This doesn't make any sense. As men, I don't understand. It's wild that most of us are still alive, because we will risk it all for a date. Like, it's like, all right, that's probably just a murder, but also it could be a good time. Like, that's insane that he even thought to bring me. And so then he takes me on what I can only describe as a kidnapping, because I tell him I don't want to go to the park, but we just keep driving to the park. And so now we're at the park, and in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna get out of the car. I'm just not gonna get out. But then I thought, like, if I don't get out of the car, and let's say something happens to him, as a black dude, especially a black dude in America, anything untoward, anything potentially illegal, anything potentially horrific, you have to factor in what the Netflix doc of you in jail might look like. I was just imagining white women watching it like, why didn't he get out the car? Like, did he have something to do with it? You know? So then I get out of the car and I walk with them to like the middle of the park where they're supposed to meet, right? And from far away, I can see 5 figures. And I was like, this is what I thought it is. This is insane. This is terrible. We're still walking towards it. I'm like, why am I using my feet to walk next to him to get to the thing? Like, it felt like the movie Us in real life. I was like, I couldn't make out them but I knew it was dangerous. And then we get there and it's her. It's just her. It's like, it's not catfish, it's not robbery, it's just her. But then she brought 4 of her friends because she was also uncomfortable meeting at the park at night. To the point I was like, whose idea was that? Like, meet at a bar like a normal person. Like, why are y'all both bringing backup? This is insane. So then they're so happy that each other is each other that they just walk off and they leave me with her 4 friends. And so now I'm just standing, there's just 5 of us in the park, and then one of them just looks at me and breaks the silence like, you want to slide? And I was like, nah, I'm good. And then they all just take turns on the slide. But we're all grown people. So I'm not a big man, but they were all huge. They were all big. So one of them was on the monkey bars, also on the ground. He was just walking, grabbing monkey bars. And then they were sliding, and then they started swinging. It was 4 of them, so 2 of them could push 2 of them. It looked like they were having fun. But then they walk up to me like, you want to swing? And it was the first time that I wish somebody meant punch me in the face. Like, it was like, I don't want to be here at all. I was like, no, I don't want to swing. He's like, why are you scared to swing? I was like, I'm not scared. I just don't want to do it. And so then they went over, and they were just pushing each other, and I could hear them laughing at me. And I didn't have anywhere to sit. I just stood there. And so 10 minutes later, I'm on the swing. Like, they bullied me into swinging. And so now I'm on the swing. And do you remember when you would swing when you were little? Your friend pushed your back, right? Your back. Okay, so this dude pushing me, he's so big, but he only pushing me by the hip. So he's just grabbing hip every time I come in. So, and he grabbing it and then pushing me hard. So he's strong. But then I also forgot to mention, so I'm flying into the air, but when I come back down, he is like catching me hip first. And then he's standing behind me, so I'm just landing in his lap. Like, he low-key humping me out every time he's like, and then I'm flying up, but he asking me about myself. He's like, so what you do for a living? And he's also saying, I forgot to mention that. He's also like making a noise every time he pushed me. I was like, this isn't even my day. Just go to a bar like normal people. Y'all, thank you so much. Did everybody get their Spotify Wrapped? Yeah, okay. I think Apple Music does it too now. This is my thing. I feel like those Wraps are the closest things apps have to doing an intervention. Because the app will come to you at the end of the year and be like, hey, I'm not judging. There's no judgment here. I'm just saying I looked at the data. It's not even my opinion. This is just hardline facts. I looked at the data, and you've been listening to a lot of Imagine Dragons. Is everything okay? Are you all right? I'm just checking. No. You were in the top 0.05% of Drake listeners. Is there therapy that we can schedule? No. You've listened to the song Stand by Eminem 672,000 times. I don't even know how you pulled that off, because that's more minutes than there are in the year. Playing the song that many times, but you did it. I will tell you though, we did have to alert Eminem and let him know that somebody want to stab him, I guess. I don't know. Y'all got y'all got George Santos today. Sure. It's funny to me because George Santos' whole defense of himself was that y'all picking on me, but you got other members of Congress that are out here sleeping with lobbyists, stealing your tax dollars and everything, but you gonna put it all on me. And I get what he's, in that moment I do get what he's saying. There are plenty of people doing very crooked things in Congress that are not gonna have the comeuppance that he just had. That is a fact, right? To be fair though, George Santos is the type of person that you do the heist with, and y'all pull it off, and the next day he show up in a fur coat. And you're like, nigga, you could have laid low. What is wrong with you? He's like, what? It's fabulous. Sure, it doesn't. Because I'm not gonna lie, George Santos is a snazzy dresser. I can't hold him. He really is. Every time I saw him, he looked like he was in a different cut or something that I'd never seen before. You know, dressing from the future. This is my thing though. Like, he spent all this money, campaign money, on stuff like Botox. But you know what? Good for him. He wanted to look good for you. You know who doesn't spend money on Botox? We be letting Mitch McConnell sag in front of us all the time. Nobody says anything. This man's sagging non-stop. He's swinging, he's sagging so much. If you get Mitch to turn around fast, you might catch something in the chin. You might get... You gotta do a rope-a-dope. Anytime Mitch turn around fast, you're like, oh. But George was like, no, I'm not gonna steal from you and be looking raggedy. That's not the type of person that I am. You're gonna get one or the other, all right? I can either show up looking dusty, you can keep all your little money, or you can get to see this. Spent money on OnlyFans. I say, fair enough. The little bit of OnlyFans money he spent, okay, it's improper. He should be taken to task for it, right? But you know what's way more expensive? Using tax dollars to fund a whole mistress. You know what I mean? You gotta get her an apartment. You gotta fly her where you're gonna be. You gotta pay for her real boyfriend to go to school. Like, it's a lot of expenses. Spent money on Hermes. I didn't even know what Hermes was. Luxury bags.
Hermes.
Are they men's?
Hermes. It's pronounced Hermes.
Oh, this is what happens with poor people try to pronounce. This is what happens when one of the poors puts luxury in his mouth. Yeah. Spent money on Hermes and Versace. Yeah. Wow, no. My bad. Thank you for correcting me. Imagine if I had gone around the country saying Hermes over and over again. I guess I still don't know what a Hermes bag is. Fair enough. No, don't apologize. I was the one that doesn't know how to misspelling with my mouth. That last laugh felt like you were laughing at me being poor. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't care for that one. That was, you know, like you'll be a little self-deprecating, and then somebody will be like, ha! It's like, wow. Okay. Tell me how you really feel. Yeah. I can't drive. Thank you. Yeah, you need them? Yeah. I can't drive. I don't have a driver's license. I grew up in Louisiana, and that's where I failed the test. And so I would just have to, walk or run everywhere, which in Louisiana is both dangerous and exhausting. But I remember I took driver's ed, and came time to do my driving test. It was bad. I don't know what it was. I panicked because I was in one of those driving test cars, So it had the brakes on his side, the brakes on my side, but just the wheel on my side, right? And I drove decently at the start. I'm good at rights. If I gotta take a right, I'm a fuck up a right, all right? Like I can cut a wheel on a right. I do rights like Formula One. It's the lefts that get me. Because there's just so many places you can go when you're trying to go left, Take a wide turn, you can make a sharp left, Lefts make me nervous. And so it was a left that did me in. I was doing the test. I'd done okay, we had just started, and then I drove on 3 lawns. I had to take a left, and so then I took the left, and I guess I was not cutting the wheel tight enough, and so then before I knew it, I was on the lawn, right? Now, the first lawn was because I wanted to make sure I was avoiding the car that was oncoming, right? Like, let me go ahead and get out the way. The second lawn was because I wasn't sure if I had the room to merge back into the road. By the time I was on the third lawn, I did forget I was on lawns. I was just kind of like, well, he knows I'm doing my best. And it wasn't until he said, get off the lawn, son, that I was like, you're right. Let me go ahead and merge back into the regular street. And then I did pretty well. I did pretty well after that for a little while. But then, once again, it was time to take a left. And the light, to me, the light was green, and then it was yellow, and then it was red, and it was the fastest yellow I've ever seen in my life. It was like the green was here, and we were good. And then as I started to turn, the yellow was like it just became a red. And so then I didn't want to run the light, so I did stop in the middle of the intersection. Because in my mind, I was like, there won't be an accident if I just stop and let people go around, right? So I'm just waving people around. And so then everybody going around me, and he finally turned to me after a couple cars passed, and he was like, what are you trying to do? I was like, I thought I'd let them go because I didn't want you to like nix me for points for running the light. And then he was like, you ran the light immediately. You were running the light when you got here. I was like, that was a fast yellow though. And he's like, it wasn't at all. That was a regular yellow. You just panicked. I watched you. You panicked and you hit the gas, then you hit the brake, and now we're here. And so I had to take a couple more lefts, so I knew I wasn't going to pass. It was getting bad, right? And so then he made me stop. He made me stop, which I didn't even think they could do. I didn't know that you could be at the driving test. They're like, you know what? Nah. Like, I thought they had to let you finish for you to fail. He was like, nah, you points-wise, there's no way you could make a comeback right now, so let's just stop. I'm gonna drive you back. So he wanted me to stop the car and for us to switch. But he offered me something very sweet. This was very nice. He said to me, he was like, look, I know you thought you were going to get your license today. I also know that your mom brought you. So I tell you what, I'm going to drive us back. And about a block away, we can switch back. And I'll let you drive up and you can tell her it didn't work out this time, but you'll be back, right? And I was like, that's very nice. And then he immediately regretted his offer because then he was saying that to me when we were at like just a road, right? But not like, this wasn't like intersections road. This was just like a side road we were on that nobody else was on when he told me to stop. And so then I was like, okay, sounds good. So then I just got out the car, but I didn't put it in park. I was just letting it go. Now I'm young, I'm spry, so I'm able to just pop out the car, right? So then I didn't even notice it was at a slow roll at the moment. And so I pop out and I'm walking around the car when I notice I got to keep up with the car. I'm like, oh no, I didn't put it in park. Now he has his door open, right? But he is in his mid-50s. And so he having trouble getting out. So I know what I should have done. I should have run back in, jumped in, stopped the car, put in park and everything. But in my mind, I did my job. I'm on this side right now. This is my side now. It's his job to get out. Now he is trying to stop the car, but he got 1 foot out and he doing like a Flintstone, like trying to stop because it's barely rolling. It's not like driving. It's just like a slow roll. So then he's like, come on now, come on now, come on. He's saying, come on now to himself. As he's stomping, and I don't know why he keeps stomping, just keep your foot there. That's how Fred did it, you know, just like, he put it, and then he let it drag. But this man is just like, come on now, come on, come on. So I didn't get my license. I still take the train everywhere.
This is crazy. TSA should be allowed to tackle whoever did this. And so then this person is screaming like, oh, what happened? Oh no, okay. Then she turns to the line because this is like in between where people drop off their oversized baggage and where the touchless line starts. A line that never goes as far, so it's longer than it's ever been before. And so she's just like, okay, can y'all help me? Turns to the people in touch line. Can y'all help me? If anybody's passing over here, can y'all just warn them, let them know? I'm gonna go get everything I need to clean this up. So then she walks away. And admittedly, all of us were like, we're probably not gonna do that. No, I'm not trying to be rude. It's just, we probably not. You know, if the line goes, I go. I don't live here, right? And sure enough, because it's frantic and because there's 4 lines, it didn't take long. It took about 20 seconds. And this man over here on his phone too, yelling at somebody. He's like, what's wrong? What are you talking about? What are you talking about the flights at 10? It was supposed to be at 1. I'm at the airport right now. I can't. And drags his suitcase through all of it. And so we as a collective in line turn and we're like, ooh, that is our bad. That's why you shouldn't have trusted me, because I'm over here thinking about other stuff like that. And this woman that works for the airline walks back over. And yells out, what happened? To be fair to her, she was gone for 20 seconds. We let her down immediately. Oh, we let her down quick.